JIDE was a fisherman who lived in a small village by the river. He woke up every morning before sunrise to take his small boat out onto the water and cast his nets. JIDE wasn't rich, but he made enough from selling his catch at the market to provide for his wife and young son. One morning, as JIDE rowed his boat along the shore, he heard beautiful singing coming from the water. He looked around but didn't see anyone. The melody was so lovely, like nothing he had ever heard before. JIDE rowed his boat further out into the deeper part of the river, searching for the source of the music. Suddenly, a head popped up from the water. JIDE gasped as he saw it was a woman, but not an ordinary woman. Where her leg should be was a long, shiny fishtail. JIDE realized she must be the water spirit known as Mami Wata. Tales of her beauty and singing were known throughout the land. "Come closer, fisherman," Mami Wata called to JIDE in her melodic voice. JIDE was filled with awe and wonder at the sight of the lovely water spirit. Her skin glistened and tiny scales shimmered on her torso. Long, flowing hair framed her exotic face. JIDE felt drawn to her, entranced by her beauty. Slowly, JIDE rowed his boat closer to where Mami Wata hovered in the water. "Do not be afraid, I will not harm you," she said. "Many riches can be yours if you come with me to my palace under the water." JIDE's eyes widened at the mention of riches. "All I have is this small boat and a few nets," he said. "My family struggles each day to have enough food." "I can change your fortune," promised Mami Wata. "Gold, jewels, everything you've ever dreamed of will be yours if you come with me." The fisherman was conflicted. The spirit's offer was tempting, but could he trust her? "I cannot just leave my family," JIDE replied. Mami Wata swam closer and ran her hand along the side of the boat. JIDE trembled at her touch. "You can help them more as a rich man," she whispered. "I will make you wealthy beyond measure. Come with me." JIDE hesitated, unsure what to do. But the thought of providing a comfortable life for his family was too much. This spirit could change everything with her promised rewards. Slowly, JIDE took off his shirt and placed it in the boat. "Then I will come with you," he said. Mami Wata smiled and held out her hand. The fisherman took it and slipped over the side of the boat. The cool water enveloped him as Mami Wata pulled him into her embrace. JIDE gasped for breath at first, but found he could breathe easily underwater in her arms. Mami Wata swam downward with the fisherman, her fishtail propelling them deeper. Deeper they went, until they passed through a gate of coral into an expansive underwater kingdom. JIDE looked around in awe. Colorful coral and seashells adorned the buildings and walkways. Merpeople like Mami Wata swam about, gazing curiously at the human in their midst. It was more beautiful than JIDE ever could have imagined. Mami Wata brought JIDE to the royal palace and gave him a room more splendid than he had ever seen. Servants brought him platters of roasted fish, seashells full of pearls, golden goblets of wine. JIDE enjoyed the royal treatment, feeling like a prince himself. "You belong here with us," Mami Wata told him, caressing his cheek. "No more struggling and poverty for you, my darling. You will have everything you desire." JIDE was intoxicated by the riches and the mermaid's attentions. At first, all was pleasure as he dined on lavish meals and lounged on soft sea sponges. Mami Wata showered him with gifts of gold and sang him sweet melodies. But over time, JIDE grew lonely. He missed his family and his simple fisherman's life. He wanted to see his wife and son again. "Mami Wata, please let me return home for a visit," JIDE asked. "Just a short trip to see my family. Then, I will come back to you." The mermaid's face darkened. "This is your home now," she insisted. "You belong to me." JIDE pleaded with her to let him go back, if only for a day. But Mami Wata refused. JIDE was her prisoner, and she would not release him. He longed to breathe fresh air and feel the sun on his face. But the mermaid kept him trapped underwater in her splendid palace. One day, as JIDE sat staring up at the waves far above, he noticed a shadow pass by. Squinting, he saw it was a boat. His boat. The small fishing vessel he had abandoned was floating on the surface directly overhead. JIDE's heart quickened with hope. Could this be his chance to escape? When Mami Wata was not looking, JIDE snatched a golden pearl necklace she had gifted him and tucked it in a leather pouch. He swam up toward the distant boat, but before JIDE could breach the surface, strong arms grabbed him. Mami Wata had discovered his escape attempt. Her lovely face was twisted in anger. "Please, I beg you, have mercy!" cried JIDE. But the vengeful mermaid showed none. She swam toward a rocky reef nearby, dragging the struggling fisherman with her. There, in the jagged rocks, dwelled monstrous sharks and eels. Mami Wata took JIDE's pouch of pearls and tossed them to the predators. "Take these pearls, my pets," she called to them. "And take this thieving human too!" JIDE screamed as the sharks and eels converged, their teeth gnashing. He tried to swim away, but it was no use. The vicious creatures sank their fangs into his flesh, stripping chunks of meat from his bones. Above, the waves turned red with blood. Mami Wata sang softly as she watched the fisherman be devoured. When only scraps remained floating in the current, she finally turned away. Days later, back in the village, JIDE's boat washed ashore carrying a grisly cargo, the fisherman's bloody shirt. JIDE's wife collapsed in anguish when she saw it. Her husband was gone, swallowed by the greedy sea. The mysterious water spirit had granted JIDE's wish, but the price was too high. Lured by the promise of riches, he lost everything in the end, even his life. His spirit would forever dwell in the mermaid's kingdom below the waters, her prisoner for eternity. The villagers never saw JIDE again, but sometimes fishermen claim they hear haunting screams from beneath the waves, warning them to resist Mami Wata's temptations, or suffer the same fate. That's it for this video, folks. Be sure to subscribe to our channel Pictales for more stories like this one. Leave a comment letting us know what stories you'd like to see come to life. Don't forget to like and subscribe for new African tales and fables every week.